Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video. Just going to do a very quick first impressions of the Rike 1505. I've only had this for a few days, but have been absolutely loving it. Wanted to throw up a quick teaser video, if you will, and then a little while down the road we'll get to the full review. But let me say by way of introduction that I have wanted one of these for some time. When I think Jim Skeleton was one of the early ones who did a Rike video, he had about 5 or 6 models on there, including this model. And this was a model that just for some reason was not widely available. You didn't see it at retailers, you just didn't see a lot of it, even though it was by far the one I was most interested in. So I've been looking for one of these for quite some time, and ultimately ended up getting a message on Instagram. And no, actually what happened was I saw a picture of this from Rike Knives. I commented, hey, I'd love to buy one. Someone commented below that, hey, check your inbox. So I looked in my inbox, and from like 3 months ago or something, 2 months ago, there was a message. And the only thing I can think of that happened on the old phone I had, it was a Windows phone, and Instagram did not function fully. There was no message component to the Instagram for Windows phones at all. So message, people would say I DM'd you about this, that, or the other, and literally they couldn't, because there was actually no messaging function. But so that message, I'm thinking, was an old holdover from that. Anyway, he had one of these for sale. I quickly got back to him and said, yeah, I'd love to have it. And so that's how I finally ended up getting one of these, even though I've been waiting for a really long time. Like that Jim Skeleton video is probably 1.5 years or 2 years old now. So finally I got one. Very, very impressed. Now I will admit this. Most of Rike's designs, the very angular sort of line cut in designs, I'm not a big fan of. And so when I was looking at them, this was really the one that was by a fairly big margin most appealing to me. And it actually is very well done. I've been flipping it as you're watching to kind of give you an impression of the action, which is very, very good. Let's do a quick size and weight and then features, and that's about all I'll be able to do because I haven't had enough use on this to really comment further other than to do a quick overview. So size on this is 8 13/16, so that's just a little over 8 3/4. Blade is 3 13/16. Handle is 5 inches right on. The weight on this is 6.6 ounces, so kind of hefty, but it's a pretty big knife. Like, it's almost 9 inches long, and so not a big deal. Plus full titanium, and look at the size of that backspacer. So there's a lot of metal here, right? It's not milled out at all on the inside. Let's hope that that's one of the things they change on the new version that's going to be released shortly. Let me zoom in and I'll tell you the features now that we've gotten past the size and weight. Come on. There we go. Okay, so there it is, the Rike 1505. I will say that this pocket clip, the Hinderer looking clip, is an older style. The ones that are more commonly around now do not have this clip. And the new ones that are coming out when they do a new run, I'm not sure when that's actually going to be. I just heard that it's happening. They won't have that clip either. Anyway, that's a discussion for a different day. Maybe I'll comment more on that when I do the full review. But let's quickly hit the features. S35 VN drop point blade with this really cool fuller that kind of ties into the opening hole. Opening hole only kind of works. It's a pretty stiff detent. So like many knives with a stiff detent, it can be a little tough to deploy via thumb hole there. Love the ergonomic option here with the cutout for your thumb and the choil at the front. That's really, really cool. One of the big things that appealed to me about this knife initially. Let's see, it is a flipper, of course, ball bearing pivot, and they're stainless steel ball bearings. It does flip really, really well. Nice big decorative pivot screw there. Full blue anodized titanium handle, backspacer there. Torx bit construction. Let's look here for a second at the lock bar. You can see that there is a stainless steel lock bar insert with an over travel stop, and that's actually pretty well done. It's more secured in the back than it is in the front, which kind of simplifies the overall look of the knife a little bit. It is a single position pocket clip, so if you wanted to switch that clip over, that's not really an option. Let's see, is there anything else that I want to point out about this. I think that pretty well covers everything other than ergonomics in hand, and that's something I would discuss further later, but I'm very, very comfortable. The blade grind is also pretty good. So there you go, that's the Rike 1505. I would expect that you'll see a little bit more about this knife fairly shortly, as they do plan to do sort of an updated version, or you know, Rike 1505 2.0 or something like that. All right, so I don't know, maybe it'll be like the Rike 1505-1 or something. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and look forward to the full review on this. Just wanted to kind of give you a quick sort of first impressions. It is my first Rike knife, the only one I have experience with, and I'm going to just sort of parrot what others have said. Very impressed with fit and finish, very impressed with the level of refinement on this. This one does have, in the anodization, there's like a spot here where it's not exactly perfect, but overall, very, very nice. Really, really impressive blade. And I have really been enjoying carrying this. In fact, I've had this in my pocket part of every day since this came the end of last week. There you go, guys. We'll talk to you soon.